everybody. Welcome back. I'm so glad you have joined me. I want to say welcome to our new subscribers. We are so glad that you are here. To the ladies of Indiana that were able to attend Indiana Ladies Conference, wasn't it just absolutely fantastic? I want to say at the beginning here that if you are new to my channel, this lesson tonight is not really a lesson. I will say this episode is not what is typical of my channel. I usually have a lesson and we just go through an outline and teach a lesson. But tonight I really feel like I just need to speak from my heart. I want to say that I am not fishing for any compliments. I am not fishing for an atta girl or keep going. That's not what this is about. But I truly feel like I come on here every week and I talk about how we need to keep moving forward. And sometimes it's instructional. Sometimes I get a little bit more preachy. Encouragement, I try to encourage. But I feel like sometimes, and even there have been a few comments that it might be a little harder than what we make it out to be. And so I just want to be honest with you tonight. And I'm just going to tell you what's been going on with me for the last few weeks. And I hope that it will encourage you because my goodness, you have encouraged me. I learned years ago that the best way to minister is through transparency. And Paul gave us this example. Paul said, the things that I want to do, I don't do. The good that I want to do, I don't do good. I end up doing what I don't want to do. Paul told us about the thorn in his flesh. So Paul was very transparent. He said, "Oh, wretched man that I am." And so this is not an "oh, wretched woman that I am" night. But I had a lesson plan. I was supposed to do Shame tonight and then Lisa next week. So I'm pushing all that back. I'm so sorry for those of you who are super excited about hearing Lisa next week. She's going to have to be the 1st of May because I could not let this opportunity pass to tell you what's been going on with me for the last few weeks and what God has done. So I'm just going to dive right in. For the last several weeks, I don't know if you have noticed, but I've had to do a lot of editing on my videos. I just seem to be having a hard time just getting into a flow. And I don't know if you notice like where I have edited, but I can see it. And I've been thinking, why is this so difficult? Why am I having such a hard time? And then I told my husband, so number one, there's me feeling like I can't get into a good flow of teaching when I'm recording my videos. So that was the first thing that I was struggling with. And then I told my husband that I didn't want to speak at our church on Mother's Day. And for the last, I don't know, maybe 6 years, I've been speaking on Mother's Day at our church. And my husband was like, "What is up? Something's wrong. Are you having an identity crisis?" And I'm like, no, listen, carrying the word is heavy. And so I chalked it up to, I just want to have a nice, relaxing Mother's Day weekend. I don't want to have the responsibility and the weight of the word. I just want to go to church and enjoy it. That was my thinking. But my husband kind of spurred my thoughts. And there were some other things that I typically absolutely love doing that I thought about stepping away from. And to me, it was all in my mind just so that I could do more, kind of clear up my plate a little bit to have more time. But that line of thinking sent me spiraling. I'm just going to tell you that last week, I walked back into the lab at the hospital. Those of you who do not know, I quit my job at the hospital to start this YouTube channel in full obedience to the Lord. So I'm just going to tell you that last week I swung into the lab at the hospital just to say hi because I love my coworkers. It was a great place to work. It was a really good environment. It was a good place to work. And so I just wanted to see the girls. So I stopped in, and of course it was like, "Hey, Traci," and it felt good to see everybody, and they'll say, "You want to come back?" and all this. And I have to tell you that last week, not just because I stepped into the lab, but because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if I was supposed to continue, or if I had it in me to continue this YouTube channel, to continue writing. The thought crossed my mind several times last week to just stop all this, go back to the hospital, and just work. I'm sorry. And the reason I thought that, well, I didn't know. And so I went to ladies' conference, not really understanding what was going on. There were some other things that played into it as well. And I went to the first service of ladies' conference, and it was fantastic. God really ministered, and I got some out of it. But the whole time I'm in that first and even Friday night's service, which those of you who went know, Sharon McKee it was amazing. The whole time I'm sitting there thinking, God, what do I do? What should I do? What do you want me to do? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Do I go back to work? Because this is hard. This is hard. It's hard to put yourself out there every week. It's hard. So long story short, then this is what happened. Not knowing what I was going through, not knowing what I was facing, so many of you came up to my table, came up to my booth at Ladies Conference and said, "Thank you for this channel. You are my Tuesday morning routine. You have encouraged me. I watch every week. And you, my dear friends, were the balm of Gilead to my soul." And I realized that what I was going through was a spiritual battle. The reason it is easier at the lab is because the enemy is okay if I'm at the lab. There's always a spiritual battle because I'm a pastor's wife. So there's always going to be, but this one was personal. The lab is easy. I'm not in complete spiritual warfare because the enemy's not mad that if I'm working at the lab. But getting on this YouTube channel every week, writing a book, there's other things that I'm doing right now that I have not shared with any of you that I will eventually. But all that, plus being a pastor's wife, leading worship, speaking engagements, that's all spiritual warfare. And after Friday night's message, Saturday afternoon, Sharon McKee was talking about our battle cry and finding our voice and lifting our voice. And that message was so powerful and impactful. But it was not until Sunday morning when I stepped into the ladies' prayer room at church, that message came full force on me. And a light came on, understanding came to me. And I realized that what I was struggling with was that spirit of intimidation. You remember the spirit of intimidation that I taught about at the beginning of starting this channel? It's one of those first few, the spirit of intimidation. That's what I was battling with. It is, and the spirit of Jezebel, which we will probably do a lesson on that at one time. But if you read in Kings where Elijah is under the juniper tree, he's done. He's tired. He had just had a great spiritual victory, but Jezebel said, "I'm going to hunt you down and I'm going to kill you." And because of her voice, he just laid down. He was done. That's what that spirit of intimidation wants to do to us. It wants to make us stop. It wants to make us feel exhausted. Oh, I'm talking to somebody right now. It wants to make you run. It wants to make you give up. And like Peter, it makes you want to go back to fishing. So for me, the lab is me going back to fishing like Peter. And I realized in the prayer room Sunday morning that the enemy was trying to shut me up and shut me down and make me sit back. And so when I started praying and lifting my voice in that prayer room Sunday morning and all the word that Sister McKee had spoken, and if it's online, I can post the links to the ladies conference messages. They were phenomenal. But those words just came back to my mind, and it just like that. The enemy is trying to stop me. He's trying to shut me up. Of course the Lord wants me to pursue. So I got on my phone and I texted my husband who was up in his office and I said, I will speak on Mother's Day. And just let me tell you, buckle your seatbelts for those from the sanctuary when I speak on Mother's Day, because I am going full throttle now. I will not sit down. I will not step back, and I will not shut up. It is time for us to know who we are, who we belong to. The reason I am telling you this is because I may get on here and I have the last few lessons, know your rights, read your rights, know who you are in God. I also did a lesson on stirring it up, talking about those who were stirred up against Paul. Oh, let's watch our spirits. Let's watch our spirits to make sure we are not those that are stirring up against the work of God. I get on here and encourage, and I wanted you to see that I fight my battles too. But the Lord, when I tell you that we can make it, when I tell you that we can do this together, I mean it. God is our help. He is our strength. And ladies and gentlemen that are watching, I'm not going to back up. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going. But you were a part of my healing this weekend. Every one of you that came by my booth, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You don't know how you minister to me, and I thank God for you. I'm so thankful for what He's doing. He is a faithful God. So no, I'm not going back to the lab. I'm going to stay right here doing what I'm doing. So having said all that, there are some things that I want to talk to you about. There's other things that I want to get on here. I don't know. I feel like I need to take a survey. What would you think if I only did 2 videos like this a month, but that were bigger? I usually only take about 20 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes in my videos, and it's hard to get a lot of in-depth teaching done in that amount of time. But I also know that our attention spans can only handle that amount of time. So I would like to hear back from you. In the comments on this video would be the easiest place for you to let me know, because they would all be right there together. So if I did just 2 videos a month, they would be almost always with a guest, because those are the videos you seem to like so much. And or if I'm doing it by myself, they will just be deeper videos. And the reason I'm considering this is because I have already written lessons to go with both of my books. So my book, What Shall I Fear? It's a 7-week devotional. I have already written a Bible study lesson to go along with that book. My goal is to re-record all of those lessons in this format. So there would be lessons for all 7 weeks, one lesson a week. So if you wanted to do like a group Bible study with What Shall I Fear, you could do that and have my video and the book. And same with Faith Over Fear. I already have all the material written. It's a matter of recording. But when I'm recording 1 video a week for this, plus writing a book, plus the other endeavors that I'm trying to do, it makes it a little bit difficult to get everything done. So I would like to hear from you. If you want me to just keep doing 1 lesson a week, or if 2 a month would be okay. if they're fuller and more in depth, so that I can get the other things recorded. So I want to hear back from you. We are in this together. And oh my goodness, how I thank God for you. You are a blessing to me. And I just want to continue doing what he's asked us to do. So you let me know. You let me know what you think about that. And I will take all of it into consideration. Also, if there's other topics that you think of that you want to hear about, please let me know. And so next week will be our lesson about shame. And then the first Monday in May will be Lisa Lee's. And we'll do part 2 of Christian counseling. I appreciate all of you so much. And I will see you next week.